The Face of Evil, a Krytan Herald report. Little was understood of Scarlet Briar's descent into madness until a handful of journals were uncovered after her death. Most of the books chronicled her academic pursuits, but one was a personal account, and the Krytan Herald was allowed access to it. This is the story it told. Before Scarlet Briar, there was Ciara. Her life began in the garden city of the Selvari. Bathed in the light of the grove, Ciara's spirit withered after her awakening. She had refused to follow the path laid out by the pale tree. She wanted to spend her life as she saw fit. Driven by an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, she sought to understand the workings of creation and dedicated her life to that study. She was isolated from and mistrusted by her own kin, but that pain was nothing compared to her nightmares. Her sleep was plagued by terrifying images and thoughts. Her diary often spoke of a sea of darkness and an entity that called out to her across a hellish dreamscape. Years of sleep deprivation meant that even in her waking hours she could hear whispers coming from the forest, taunting her, threatening to possess her. In desperation she sought the aid of the menders, the healers of the Selvari people. Great effort was given over her care, but not even the mother tree could help her. Ciara survived for months, allowing herself little or no sleep. When exhaustion claimed her, she was drowned in the darkness of her nightmares. As her nightly terrors worsened, the entity revealed itself, trying to communicate with her using images of death, destruction, and a terrible destiny. This confrontation was a revelation, and in pushing down her fear, a new determination burned within her being. Sure now the entity existed beyond her mind, she bent her will to finding the monster and ending it. After 8 years, Ciara felt she could learn no more from her Selvari brethren, and headed to Holbrak, the frozen city of the Norn. There she would master metallurgy under the renowned smith Bigath. Not 4 months later she left the frigid capital, her mission complete, and made her way to the Black Citadel. The heart of the Char Nation was her home for 2 years as she dedicated herself to the study of firearms and artillery with the Iron Legion Gladium Asage. Once confident her knowledge could be expanded no further, Ciara's eyes turned towards Ratasum and the College of Dynamics and Statics. Many Asuran scholars were skeptical that a Selvari could be sufficiently erudite to comprehend, let alone contribute, to the academic collective, so she was obliged to undertake an entrance exam, which, much to the ire of her detractors, she passed. She excelled at her studies, but hungering ever for greater understanding, she became intrigued by the Asuran notion of the eternal alchemy. Under the tutelage of Olmad, Headmaster Emeritus of the College of Synergetics, she theorized that one could not only understand the eternal alchemy, but affect and control it. The Arcane Council became increasingly uneasy with this line of inquiry. Months later, Ciara was found deep in the city's archives with Teo, an infamous Inquest spy and saboteur. She had secretly joined their ranks and was now considered a threat to the Council and the city. Expulsion from Radisson swiftly followed. Her rejection from the city ended her relationship with the Inquest, but not her quest for knowledge. Travelling to Michaud Marsh, she learned all she could of Hylic alchemy. This is where Olmad found her, and changed the course of history. Olmad had devised an experiment which would make it possible to study the eternal alchemy directly. This offered Ciara a tantalizing glimpse at the fabric of the universe, but the price could be her very soul. Plagued still by the night terrors, she was willing to risk all to be free of her tormentor. She climbed into the sensory deprivation chamber, and her mind was open to the cosmos, and her fate was sealed. It is not clear what she saw when she looked into the fires of creation, but Ciara was gone, and Olmad paid for his hubris with his life. These are the last intelligible lines of her journal. I saw Tyria and the mists. I saw the insurmountable, and I know what I must do. The Selvari of the tree, the nightmare court, Caith, Valen, all points of the axis Monday. Mother called to me, begging me to go no further, but I see her truth now. She will not stop me. I am the red thorn vine that strangles her essence, for the fire looked into me, and now all will burn.